And while I'm doing this, we'll just go over to YouTube. Let's see, view my channel. I'm going to edit this.
You got merch too. Wow, look at that. You got merch too. Wow, look at that.
Let's see, edit video. This is awesome, man. This is so awesome doing this with the YouTuber. It's great.
Yeah, I just hit 7,000 subscribers too, so I'm pretty psyched about that.
Fantastic. Let's see, Marvel Contest of Champions. Save that.
Yeah, I don't get to go live as much as I used to. When I first started doing this, I was going live almost every day, and I just haven't had the time, unfortunately. This is good that I'm getting on here with you, because that gives me some incentive to try and do it a little bit more often.
I used to go live a bit. I wouldn't say I'm not like an Aaron Abdo kind of guy where I'm live every single day. I used to go live maybe once or twice a week, but it just got to be such a I don't know. I just couldn't find something that I was passionate about streaming live. Battleground.
Yeah, and it almost becomes a job.
Yeah, Battlegrounds was interesting until I started getting no good at it, and for some reason I've gotten worse at Battlegrounds over the years. So it's just not that much fun to me anymore.
I'm a milestone Battlegrounds guy.
Yeah.
I do Battlegrounds, milestones, and then I'm done.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Let's see. All right. So. All right.
And I'm going to guess that you are not a free-to-play player.
I am not a free-to-play player. I mean, so how much do you know about me?
I know that you're ranked pretty high. That's what I know.
All right. Yeah.
And mostly everybody that's ranked pretty high is not a free-to-play player.
Is not free-to-play. Right. So I've been playing this game.
You're number 3 right now, by the way. You know that, right?
I know. I dropped one. They're after my ass. So whatever. It's fine. No, I've been playing since 2020, like right a couple months after the game launched.
And that was 2014, 2015.
Yeah. I've been in a total of 4 alliances since I've been playing, but I've been with 4 Loki for the past 6 years, which has been fantastic. But yeah, I've been with 4 Loki for 6 years, and it's a family. I'm sure your alliance that you're in, you feel the same way. It's a family. You spend so much time with these guys. I've
been in my alliance. I'm in the it's Drunken. What are these guys called here? I don't have a lot to do. I know you guys are really like tight. Yeah. The Drunken Dank Defenders, and I've been in that alliance probably 5 years now.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the top alliance. I'm not a big alliance play either. I do Alliance War, Alliance Quest. We do raids when we get to do raids, but for the most part, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the top in my by a lot, by way a lot in my alliance, and I've just kind of stuck with these guys. There's still about 5 of us in the alliance that have been here since I joined about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as doing Alliance War, I do my part. Alliance Quest, I get in there and do it. It's very repetitive. It's very grindy.
Yeah.
What do you?
What do you enjoy most in playing? Which game mode do you like playing the most in this godforsaken game we play?
Well, Act 9 just came out. 9.3 just came out. Yeah. So I'm starting to grind through that. I just got done through the first quest.
Yep.
And I do them 100%. I don't like, some people go through and they will complete it and then they'll go back through it and 100% it. I just 100% it.
Yep.
So I'll go quest 1, done, quest 2, done, done, and then all the way to the end. And then I end up having to fight the last boss 6 times before I'm done. And then that's done. I like it when they come out with that content. And then when they come out with content like the Wheel of Fate content or the Ares content, I like that kind of stuff. That's always fun to me.
Yeah.
I always see this game as a game of skill and resource management.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with resource management. I'm not a free-to-play player. I'm a pay-to-play player.
Right.
So, I take all the stuff I get from YouTube and I dump it right back into this game.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so
I mean, I'm probably and by the way, I'm seeing people join up on chat. I have a bunch of questions I have for the good doctor over here.
There we are. Okay.
But if you guys have any big questions for the doctor to ask in chat, just go right ahead and we'll get it incorporated in the interview. I see Kurt, I see Jay Will, my boys.
And Jason Jabari's in there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Jason is just a fantastic guy. If you ever get a chance to meet him, absolutely fantastic. All right, so doctor, so I want to start really at the beginning. How did you get interested in this game? What brought you on board? You were here since the beginning.
Yeah, I'm a big comic book fan. Big, giant comic book fan. I'm not young, so I'm an older guy. I was, born in the very late 60s, early 70s, let's just say, and I've been collecting comic books ever since then. And I was looking for a really good Marvel game, and there really aren't that many good Marvel games, particularly on mobile platforms.
Yep.
And this game kind of takes me back to games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and that thing. And I started playing it. I liked the complications. I liked the complexity of it. And the game has just gotten way more complex since the beginning. I mean, you probably remember playing it back in 2015, 16, and we had 5 stars, and they had barely brought 6 stars in about a year after that, and everybody was whooping it up about getting the new 6 star, and the kits are all very complex, and I like all that complexity. By trade during the day, I'm a scientist. I like statistics. I like a lot of math, and there is a ton of math, a ton of statistics in this, and I love all the Marvel characters too. That's another great thing.
Yeah. Have you played any other games that are Marvel based, or is this pretty much it?
I played a few. Some of the like Spider-Man PlayStation games and things like that. Yeah. This is in my opinion, MCOC is the best one.
Right.
And as much as we kind of crap on Kabam all the time, they have done a great job in keeping the game up.
Yeah.
The updates come out. We get a couple of new champs every month. We get old champs that get redone. We always, as a YouTuber, we always have stuff to talk about. Always.
Yep.
Almost every day. You see all the YouTube, like we had we're going to bring this up. Obviously, we had the Spider-Man or the Spider-Woman nerf.
Yep.
And, that's just another thing that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And, tomorrow it'll be something different. Everybody's upset about that, but tomorrow will be something different. We just had Act 9, Chapter 3 come out. That's fun. We got the side quests. I like the fact that we get new side quest stuff every week. The amount of material that is in the game to do is a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can feel kind of overwhelming to new players, especially now compared to when the game first came out. When the game first came out, it was still very complex, but it was not nearly even close to as complex as it is now.
Yeah.
We didn't have 7 stars. We didn't have relics. We didn't have stat casts. The kits weren't as big. We didn't have all the different types of damage over time and all the other mechanics that these champions have all gotten. And just the sheer number of champions that we had. And now we've got 7 stars, and we're waiting to get rank 5 7 stars whenever that's going to happen. And everybody always says, oh, well, we're going to get 8 stars next. And that, every time they do that, it just adds more complexity to the game. I'm actually okay with that. I play the game a lot. I keep up with it. And if you've been playing for as long as like you and I have, and you keep up with it, then it's not that bad. We get 95 to 99% of the way to having the best champions and having them awakened. And I like the chase of champions too. That's another really thing that I think is fun in the game.
So before we go too much further, so talking about complexity of the game, you've been playing this for a very long time, since the game launched. what we have seen over the past few years is there was a peak in interest of the game that we can all pretty much assume was around the in game time frame, so 2021 whatever, and then the perception, and it's actually been perpetuated lately by Rich the Man, is that there is a steady decline. I want to say decline to leveling off of interest to the game. And so what Kabam is trying to do is they're trying to entice new players to come into Marvel Contest of Champions.
Yeah.
Now, we started playing early in 2015, 2016, when the game was very, very simple comparative to what it is today. Do you think the
Yeah.
complexity over the past few years is going to be a barrier to new players coming and enjoying the game that we love?
I don't think it has been, so I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think that they have. What did I see? It's roughly 6 to 9 million players play the game at any one time. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people that play the game, and I don't. That number doesn't really go below that. It doesn't really go above that. They've peaked out. I know as a business they want to increase their player base as much as they can possibly, increase it so they can increase the number of players that are going to actually spend money on the game.
Yeah.
I think a few things that I have liked that they have done, and there are things that they have done that I don't like at all. I like that they did a web store. I think we can all thank what was it, Fortnite for that one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I like that. I like that there's better stuff in that store typically than there is in the game itself. I think the recent event quest stuff, I was not a big fan of that. I like the old event quest. I think they really got burned by that.
Yeah.
I think they were doing that in an attempt to bring new players in, but they kind of flubbed that up with setting everybody's prestige to set their difficulty, and it wasn't honed enough. I like the old one where we had a Thronebreaker difficulty, and then all the way down so that everybody could get into that and do it. Side quests, the recent side quest stuff, I don't like. I like it when they said, okay, this is what's going to happen for the side quest, and it's going to change a little bit every single week. And now we're getting like these 2-week side quests where we're getting new content for 2 weeks, and then we're getting something completely different. And it just seems like they're kind of mishmashing things together.
Yeah.
But as far as the complexity of the game, I think it is as complex as it needs to be. And I don't really think it's going to be a barrier to new players. I meet people all the time, and I'll be on my phone, and they'll look at me and they go, "Oh my God, are you playing MCOC?" And I say, "Yep, that's what I'm playing." And they're like, "Oh, I just started playing, a week ago or a month ago or something like that." So, I've anecdotally met quite a few people who are new players.
Have you ever been spotted in the wild? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Yeah, you have.
Oh yeah.
I have not been spotted in the wild, and it's just who's going to spot me? I've got like 6,000 subscribers, and I mean, my name is known in the game, but yeah, nobody's going to spot me in the wild. But that's awesome.
And the way I've gotten, nobody knows. I mean, they've seen me. The way I've got spotted is I was at like a barbecue place one day, and somebody walked up, and a guy was there, and I had the game open while I was waiting, and he looked over and he goes, "Oh my God, are you DrYuriusPapers?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
That's awesome.
Because he looked at my phone and he saw I was playing, and he saw my name on the game is DrYuriusPapers. So
right.
That was like it. So
right.
It wasn't like fantastic. Oh my God, I'm getting people that are going to run up and want my autograph and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So, so you and I have been playing this game for a while, and we have relatively mature accounts with relatively deep rosters. You're in the top 2,500 players, which is no small feat. Just like you said, there are millions of players that play this game on a daily basis.
Yep.
What do you think has been your greatest accomplishment so far in the playing of this game? What do you consider success?
Getting the new progression titles as soon as they come out.
Yeah.
I like that. I did my my journey through the game has gone through progression titles, and we were I had predicted that we were going to get a new progression title this summer, and we never did.
Yep.
On average, Kabam has released a new progression title every year and a half. If you go back, I did a video about this. If you go back through the history of the game, except for this last time, we got a progression title every 18 months.
Yep.
And I got Uncollected, and then I got Uncollected and Cavalier very quickly together. And then it took me a while to get Thronebreaker. It took me about 9 months. And I thought that was, you had to beat the Super Champion in Act 6, and everybody loves that fight. And then you had to beat the Collector, or was it the Collector or no, the Grandmaster? And everybody loves that fight too. So, and I had an Aegon, and I did that with Aegon. And I had that all planned out on how I was going to do it, how I was going to go forward, what I had to do. And that was a big planning process. And then shortly after that, we got Paragon. I think we got Paragon about a year and a half, not quite a year and a half after that. I got Thronebreaker in August of 21. So I started playing the game, but I wasn't like super serious with it. It was just a casual thing. And then I started getting really serious right around the time I started thinking about starting a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And those kind of go hand in hand. So I started the YouTube channel, started getting really serious about the game, and started figuring out how to get through all the progression titles that there were. And at that time, Seton Mana Legends was big, and Rich was big, and Contest Champion was big, and Prof Hoff was big.
Yeah.
So I watched all their channels and figured out how to do things. And they always had videos that came out right away when something new came out or dropped. And KT1 was always another good source for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Legacy, all the big ones.
What made you really want to start to create content? Was it something that did you think you had a particular voice that needed to be heard in the community, or was there some other reason why you decided, hey, I'm going to take the jump of playing this by myself and start connecting and communicating more with the wider community? What made you make that jump to YouTube?
I saw these guys do YouTube. I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I got a channel. Maybe I'll get people to watch me play this game. I look at it a little differently. I was playing this a couple hours a night, and I was like, why don't I just get people to watch me while I do it? And maybe I'll make a little bit of money. I'll make a brand, and maybe I'll make a little bit of money on the side. And you kind of get that adrenaline rush when you get new subscribers come on your channel, and you check your metrics every day, and those things all kind of went hand in hand. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe people will listen to what I have to say about the game. And, that came true. I've got about 7,100 subscribers now.
Yep.
And so people get on. I don't get to live stream as much as I would like to. I'm only live streaming a couple of days a week now. Whereas when I first started, I was live streaming almost every day.
Yeah.
I get on and people get on, and I've got the same kind of people that come on all the time. And, they ask me questions, and, I don't like that. It's kind of like what I do for a living on my day job.
Yeah.
This is kind of my part-time night job. I wouldn't call it a job, but, it's fun. I like the whole kind of learning how to do YouTube and learning about the game at the same time. I always found that kind of exciting. What's the newest tech I can get for my YouTube channel? How do I edit videos? Can I put little blurbs in the videos? How do I make the thumbnails? All that kind of stuff goes kind of together with the game. And then what are the interesting things that I can talk about with everybody with the game? There's a million different top 10 lists. So instead of doing like a top 10 list every month, I was doing, well, who should you rank up? Who should you awaken?
Yeah.
Who are the top cosmics that you should awaken, or who are the top cosmics that you should rank? Who deserves to rank from rank 5 to rank 6 as a rank 4 to rank 5 as a 6-star, and who deserves to go from rank 3 to rank 4 as a 7-star, and how do you use this champ? And I like to do those kinds of videos as well.
What do you find harder, grinding MCOC or grinding YouTube?
Grinding YouTube.
Absolutely. This is a full-time
Yeah,
job, man.
I could grind Arena I mean, now Arena doesn't take that long to do.
Yep.
I've never really, everybody and let me say this, that is one thing I think that Kabam really ruined, is the arena chase. Nobody chases champs anymore in the arena.
You just buy them. Yeah, and if you spend
and
enough money, you get them.
Yeah, and I mean, and that happened when we got 7-stars, and there's no 7-stars in the arena.
Yeah.
And I know you remember this when there were 6-stars in the arena, and there were no 7-stars. Everybody ground, they would really, really grind. I mean, when Omega Sentinel came out, how many people? I was like looking at some of these people that were grinding for that, and the amount of points that they were putting up. And I think she was the first one to go over 200 million points.
Yeah.
In the featured arena, and I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this person didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
And that that disappeared the second that 7-stars came out.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't put 7-stars in the arena.
Yeah, there was a lot of cheating too that was going on with Arena.
We all massively.
Remember. Yeah, massive. Yeah, but that was before they had a lot of the anti-cheat tools that they have available to them now. But I'm with you, man. I think if they had a 7-star arena for some of these featured champions, I think that would excite a whole new player base. A lot of the free to play players, absolutely. they would chase arena. Absolutely.
Yeah. But everybody would be grinding the game constantly. All of the YouTubers would come on. They would do live streams of arena grinds again. And we would all chase champs. Everybody would chase the champ. Yeah. You'd still have people that would. I mean, you can't technically buy a 7-star because they don't make them available. You can buy the 6-stars right off the bat when they come out now.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to chase that. If they're going to play, I don't take those offers. I don't think those offers are worth it. But I really think that we need to have a change to the arena. That's a big thing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
When it was chasing the 6-stars and going through and trying to get all the milestones for the arena, and when you were trying to do it with 5-stars for the featured arena and 6-stars, it took a couple of days to do it. Now with 7-stars in the mix, it takes me for the featured arena to do I think it's 12 milestones in that one. It takes me maybe 2.5 hours at the most to go through the whole thing. And then I've got all of it. And then I don't care after that. I'm not chasing the champ. And then I'll just switch over to the basic arena. And that one takes like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then I'm done. And then I'll switch over to the summoners one. And that one, that one actually takes a while to grind out with 3 and 4 stars. And I'll do that one just for units and for battle chips. That's it, but I'm trying to get as many of those as I can. I think one of the things that I chase a lot, that I've got a lot, is, let me look at my game here. I currently have 70,671 units.
Oh, wow.
I know
that's a bit.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that's probably some of the highest in the game.
Yep. Why are you saving them all? Are you saving them for Banquet, or what's the purpose of saving them all?
I mean, I have them just in case I need them.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm a pay-to-play player, so I very rarely will spend on offers.
Yeah.
That come out. I do. I go for all the big offer. The Cyber Weekend, the Valentine's Day, the Spring Cleaning, the July 4th, and they've added a bunch of like minor ones that are in there as well.
Yep.
And those always have big pay offers, and they also have big unit offers. And I usually just whale out on everything. So I have 70,000 right now because they haven't had a big offer come out for a while. That was worth it. But they will. I mean, Cyber Weekend's going to be coming up here pretty soon. And then I'll dump 20,000 units on one of those offer weekends. Right. And then I'll build right back up. I don't have to spend units. I'm a good enough player, and I've got a good enough roster, and I manage my resources well enough that I don't have to spend units on revives very much. I still have 2 runs to do in Necropolis, and I just haven't had the time to go in there and do it, but I'll probably end up spending some of these units on a run on that. I'm not the best player. I'm not going to do Necropolis like, Legacy does, or some of the other guys like KT1, where they're going through and they're spending like 20 revives.
Right.
It's going to cost me 100 revives to do one run on that. And I want to do it just to get the sticker, the profile pick for it.
Right.
I mean, there's the rewards in there are still okay.
They're okay. Yeah. They're losing value every day. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. And when Wheel of Fate came out, and when the Ares, what was the Ares one called again? Let me go back here. I got my game open here. I'm looking down at my phone. Epic of Pain.
Yep.
When Wheel of Fate came out and Epic of Pain came out, I did those 100%.
Yeah.
Because I wanted those rewards, and I got them done within a reasonable amount of time. And I sat down and you're going to laugh because I know what this is. I sat down and wrote a poem out for both of those.
A plan of action and milestones. That's right.
Plan of action and milestones. That's right. I had a PowerPoint with an arrow and all the different stuff I had to do to get through it. And what I was going to have to spend, and again, that, like I said, this game is almost an equal amount of skill and an equal amount of resource management.
Yeah.
So I figured my skill is not great. It's not bad, but I was going to need a certain amount of resources to get through each run of that. So that's where I went. And that's where a lot of units went too. Yeah. I try not to go down below 40,000 units too much. And if I do, then I kind of stop and I grind out Arena to get as many as I can. I've done a couple of videos about units, and if I really pay attention to Arena and everything else, especially with all the unit offers that they have put out, because there's a bunch of free units now, but they did take some units away because they got rid of the event quest stuff. But you could technically pull out 6,000 units a month from this game.
Yeah.
And that's free. That's not spending any money. But you do have to grind a lot of Arena and a lot of battleships to do that.
Do you buy any of like the daily deals through the web store, or no? Does that not happen?
Every day.
You buy the deals. And what item in the daily deals do you find most valuable for you?
I get the $5 one. I get two. So the Valiant Crystals, not so much. Every once in a while I'll get a 7-star out of those.
Yeah.
I think the tier 6 class that they have in there is good.
Yep.
And the other rank up, but I mean, it's a minimal amount of rank up stuff that they put in there, but it's enough that if you get it every day, and it's not super expensive, it can be, but it's enough that I don't have to worry about gold. I don't have to worry about ISO. I'm duping champs all the time because of it.
Yeah.
And it's enough of like a tier 6 basic and a tier 3, tier 4 alpha catalyst that I can get through, and I can accumulate enough that I can just rank champs up essentially when I want to.
Right.
It's not like all the time, but I can get them within a reasonable amount of time, a couple of days or maybe a week. And I kind of have a plan of action and milestones, a poem for who I want to rank up to all the time. Yeah. So currently
it's all about resource. It's all about resource management, just like you said. You've got to have a plan. You got to know who you want to rank up next. You got to have a goal. Like for some people, their goal is prestige, and so they've got to make sure that their next champ is absolutely. It's all about resource management. So, Doctor, you said back in 2020 you started the YouTube channel, and you took inspiration from people like Lags, Rich the Man, KT, Seaton, because you use them as a resource in your progression through the game.
Absolutely.
Now that you have your own YouTube channel with 7,000 subscribers and a million plus views, do you kind of see yourself as that same sort of resource that you used in your initial progression to the newer players?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I get people that come on all the time. So every Wednesday we get new material.
Yep.
And every Wednesday I make a set of videos on how to beat that new material.
Yep.
I like doing raw videos. I don't like I just go in and do them. When I put those videos out, it's the first time I'm seeing that content.
Yep.
So I go in, I look at it. I might look at it for maybe a minute or two before I make a video, just to say, okay, here's the node. I definitely need to use this champ. Some of those nodes that they have in there just stop you from going forward, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain champs you have to have. Like they'll say, well, it's got damage reduction of 90% unless you do shock. So okay, I got to have a shock champion. So I kind of look. I'm looking through to see if I've got any of those kind of war stopper nodes that are going to stop me unless I have certain champions. And then I will do the material and do the content, beat it, and I'll say, okay, here's the champions I used. These guys work great. These guys didn't work so great. And if you use the same ones you could, here's some other alternatives that you could use. But every Wednesday I try and put those videos out so people can see how to beat that content. And I think that's really important. And then I got a bunch of people. Most of my views come from those videos. Those are the most, like, the highest view counts.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of comments, like I'll put them out usually Wednesday night, and then I'll get up in the morning and I'll look, and there'll be a bunch of comments in there like, oh my God, I use this guy. Oh my God, I did this. Oh, I don't have that champ. Hey, what about this one, Doc? And then people will come on and say, should I rank this guy up, or should I awaken? The two main questions you always get. Should I awaken this guy? Do I need to have this person awaken to use him? And should I rank them up?
Yeah.
So I get a lot of those. All the content and all the questions I get are all that now.
Okay. Hey, I just want to acknowledge everybody in chat. I haven't said hi to everybody. So we got Kurd, Old Man Easy. We got Owen. What's up? AB. Hake, what's going on, guys? I don't know if Jay will still on. And I just want to, again, I'll reiterate, if you guys have any questions specifically for the good doctor here, just type it in chat. We'll fold it into the interview, and we'll keep going. But I've got a bunch more for you. Okay.
Go for it.
So do you think, so I'm going to transition from the YouTube content creator. Well, actually, I got one more for the content creator. Have you ever thought about applying for the content creator program, or?
I have applied for it a couple of times, and have heard nothing from them.
Okay, so
nothing.
So no, that's really where I want to go here, because if Jay Will's still in here, so Jay Will and I are in the CCP. It took me months of applying to even be noticed and then invited in. I think I had.
So you applied more than once.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I applied more than once. Yeah, it was once a week for 3 to 4 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I thought I had an in.
I haven't done that. I've sent an application in, like, I think 4 times.
I thought I had an in because Mike's in my alliance. He's the freaking leader of my alliance, and it took me forever to get invited in. So it was strange, but I've been there for a couple years. I think it's great, and I would suggest highly.
Karate Mike.
What's that? Yeah, Karate Mike. Yeah.
When you say Mike.
Yeah,
Karate Mike. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I would keep applying. Now I do know specifically that the link that's currently in the forums for the for applying to the CCP is going to be changed soon. And they're actually
you have a link that goes to a application. You fill it out and you give them all the URLs for all your sites and everything, and then I imagine that Kabam doesn't have a big staff. And they don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. We rarely have seen it usually comes in bunches, like bunches of people brought in. But yeah, they actually, I know some stuff. I'm not going to say it, but I would suggest applying again and trying to get.
Yeah, I'll probably just do what you did, and I'll just apply every week, and then we'll see what happens.
And be a pain in the ass, right? I mean, that's just what I got.
Yeah, just be persistent. Just be persistent.
So transitioning from the YouTube and content creative portion of it to more of the, we already touched a little bit about it, but going further into depth about the spending and the economy of the game. I am a self-professed whale. You are a pay-to-play player.
I'm a self-professed whale too.
Okay. Do you think Kabam gives enough value to the Dolphins and free-to-play and casual spenders, or is the economy still skewed too much towards the whales?
It's still skewed towards whales. I I think that Kabam sees three groups of players. They see us, the whales. They see the people that spend money all the time, and they track it, so they know
Yeah.
who's spending money and who's not.
Yep.
And they tailor a lot of offers probably to the way that we spend and our spending habits.
Yep.
Then they see potential spenders. So maybe somebody spends money every once in a while, and maybe they can kind of sucker them into spending more money. And then they see people who are never going to spend money, and I don't think they care. And they never spend money, and they don't have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And I don't think they care about those people at all.
I think. Don't you think that they? I mean, for those people that don't spend, don't you think they try to think of new and exciting ways to bring those free to play people into the fold of casual spenders?
I think if they're newer to the game, they're trying to convert them over to a potential or somebody who's going to spend regularly. So I always use the analogy of the casino. They're trying to get us to come into the casino.
Yep.
You can't get somebody to bet money on the roulette table if they're standing outside the casino. So I think they do put some incentives out there every once in a while to get people to kind of come in and take a look around. I think the web store went far in doing that when they put the web store out. Like when I do reviews of offers, I always do a review of the web store and what's in the game. And I always point out that there's a big difference. And I'm sure they love that. That's just free advertising for them.
Yeah.
When Prof Off used to do all of his stuff, he doesn't do very much of that anymore. He does it every once in a while. But, he did all the reviews I would get on his channel and see what he was doing for any offer, because he was the guy that did all the offers. So I've kind of tried to do that. But I don't think there's enough there for free to play players or players that are never going to spend money to entice them to spend money. I just don't think they have it there.
Yeah.
They've made some changes to the game recently that weren't very popular, especially over like the last month. And hopefully they're listening to us and they're going to change things back.
Yep.
They got caught with the energy thing. That was not popular. That's not enticing any new players to spend money either. Right. That kind of stuff.
Hey, I want to acknowledge Truth. Truth did a laborious raid. So welcome everybody in the chat.
Hey,
Truth, thank you so much for the raid, brother. But yeah,
I see that. If people see me looking down, I'm looking down at my iPad. I'm looking at the live stream right now at the same time.
And I see Owen's question, and I definitely want to address that, but I want to do it at the when we have a natural break, because that is a very important question, Owen. Thank you for asking that. All right, so sorry for interrupting you. What were we talking about? The spending.
We're talking about value.
Yeah, value.
Yeah. I think they kind of they see the spenders, and like the last couple of big spending events, they were really geared towards spenders. I mean, they had the unit stuff that was there was a lot. I mean, it was like 35,000 units total to get everything.
Yep.
So that was definitely geared towards people who were going to spend money in the web store on the unit offer themselves and get the units, and then go back in and spend those units for other offers.
Right.
And they had that progression level with all of the offers that they always do.
I mean, when you step back from it, if you I'm stepping out of my seat as a whale who goes after every deal, every event. And you think about it from a person who's never heard of this game before, and they hear that there is this digital mobile game where they're offering a single champion, not even a dupe champion, but a single champion for $400.
Yeah, and that's insane.
It's insane. It is insane that there are people, and you say, oh, there's a shit ton of people out there that are willing to spend $400 for a champion on a mobile game that will be obsolete in 6 to 10 months.
The value goes down fast. It goes down really fast.
It's
You know,
crazy.
for that champ that they're going to spend, like you remember the Omega Red,
Yeah.
the 7-star Omega Red.
Oh yeah.
People, you know, everybody wanted that Omega Red, and then he's in the regular rotation now,
I've never
and
used him.
there's no value.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's one of my biggest regrets is picking Omega Red because I've never absolutely used him. I mean, he was a great champ back in 2018, but now he's kind of like
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I mean,
If they throw a biohazard in, I use him. That's when I use him. But that hardly ever happens now.
yeah. But going back to the $400 champ, uh, a $400 champ, unduped champ, as a reward is definitely geared towards milking the whales. Absolutely, because I can't.
Oh yeah, and it feeds into everybody having to have that thing right then and there.
Yeah.
That's the big thing too.
Yeah. I don't know how Well, I mean, I know how sustainable it is because they've been doing it for years, and people keep on buying the shit, including myself.
It works.
It works. It absolutely works.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to move to Owen's question. So
okay.
Owen's question is all about Banquet. If Banquet is this year, Doctor, the same way it was last year, if it's and as it was the year before, are you planning on participating in Banquet? And if so, how much?
So I don't whale out on Banquet. Okay. I don't actually see Banquet as free to play players and potential pay to play players see Banquet as one of the major events. I don't actually count that in my list of major events.
Okay.
For the year. Now I participate in it. I do spend some money on it. I buy some of the greater Banquet crystals and all that. But I'm not going to be the guy that's spending $20,000 or $30,000. What was it? What was the number this year? It was ridiculous.
So
this last one was like
Super Bro spent about 140.
Yeah, I mean it was somebody had some cash to burn.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting close to that. So those are ranked rewards, and it's ranked rewards that are ranked because you spent money, and you spent a lot of money. Cyber Weekend, all the major events. So you go in to the actual the unit offer store where they have, you can buy the Odins and all that. I like those. Those are always great as long as they're putting things with value that are in those.
Yeah.
And then I'll whale out on those. That's usually, I think, to go through all of those and get all of those is like $750.
Yep.
And I'll get all those, and then you get a bunch of extra units, and then they have a unit offer.
Yep.
For units, and I'll usually get as much of that as I can. I like those offers, but like the Banquet stuff, it's nice. Yep. But I'm not gonna, I'll go for I think like top 10% on the ranks.
Yeah.
But again, they always put one of those kind of enticing chase champions in, and everybody wants it. And somebody out there is willing to spend over $100,000 to chase that champ.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, for the past few years, the community knows I've gone hard on the Banquet. In the gifting event, I've been hard. What I'll tell Owen, from my standpoint, that unless Kabam really shows some value in the top tier awards, the 1 through 5 or whatever, however they break it out, unless they show some sort of real value in it, I will not be going for top 30 this year. They know that.
Yeah,
that they need to communicate to me that it is worth me spending my hardworking money to pursue. Last year, it wasn't there, but I got caught up in the hype, and I will not do it again. I will not go top 30.
There's a lot of hype.
I will not do it.
Hype.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I just don't see it as big of a thing as a lot of other people see it.
Yep.
Like I said, I will maybe okay, if I get top 10%, I'm happy with that. A lot of people get caught up in it, and then you get the chase champ, or you get the chase item, and it has lost almost all of its value 4 or 5 months later.
Yep, absolutely.
The game's been around for over 10 years now.
Yep.
And things lose value as the game ages.
Yep.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
Everybody wants that champ right now. That, when a champ comes out, they want it right now, and everybody's willing to chase it. I kind of play the long game, and I look at it and say, well, do I have to have it right now? If I don't, it's worth it to wait till it jumps into the Titan Crystal, or it gets dumped into the basic pool, and then I'll get it then.
Yeah.
And then I'll chase it. Like I'm chasing Mole Man and Quicksilver. I don't have those as 7 stars.
Yeah.
So I'm chasing those 2 right now. Like I said, I buy the $5 every day, and I'm getting Valiant Science Crystals because I want to get Quicksilver out of that.
Right. And plus, you get the daily tickets too, which have their own value as well, which is fantastic. Yeah.
There's a really good offer right now for those daily tickets. So for the 150 daily tickets, you're going to get 2 7-star Awakening gems. So the 7-star Awakening gem crystals are the big chase item for me right now.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to awaken champs, and that has the most value for me because I've got a backlist of champions that I need to get awakened, and that's the easiest way to do it.
All right. Next question, Doctor. Are you do you hold status on airlines or hotels?
Huh.
I'm going somewhere with this. So, do you hold status?
What do you mean by status? Do I have points?
Yeah. Do you have points?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So do I. I am in sales. I fly a lot of places. I stay in a lot of hotels. I have status. These companies like Marriott Bonvoy or American Airlines or United, they have something that they have loyalty programs, right? Where if you are loyal, if you spend money with the company, they provide you benefits, such as
like I'm a Gold Elite member with Marriott, so
there you go. You get free rooms, free upgrades, blah blah blah. Now this may piss some people off in the chat. However,
you're about ready to say yes, it is. It's going to make some people mad.
Yes, it will. So would you sign up for a white glove service for spenders in this game?
Absolutely.
What would you look for in that white glove service?
I think if Kabam said, they have like the loyalty point service that they have on the web store.
Yep.
Where they have the track, and I like the track too. That's another thing I thought was really good addition to the game on the web store. And that's kind of a what you're talking about. That's close. It's not exactly. But I think if they said, if you spend a certain amount or you accumulate a certain amount of points, which you can only get through spending money, and you maintain that, like the airlines do with getting 100,000 miles a year.
Yep.
And then if you don't get 100,000 miles in a year, you don't get to keep your status. I think that would be great. I think they would get a lot more people that might spend more money. But it needs to be worth it.
What would you think the backlash from the community? Well, we all know what the backlash is. You and I in the chat know exactly what the backlash would be. It would be, Kabam only cares about the whales. Well, that's not really the case.
They do. Everybody needs to understand that. They only care about the whales. They really do.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend, I don't know how much percentage of the money that goes into the game gets spent by whales, but I'm going to guess a very small percentage of the player base contributes the vast amount of their revenue.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you how many they track. Well, they track everybody, but the ones that they pay close attention to are the top 10K.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
And that's who they pay really close attention
to. You're ranked 3rd right now.
Yep.
And I'm ranked like somewhere between 2,200 and 2,500 right now. So, yes, they're absolutely paying because all of those players, almost every single one of those players spends money.
Yeah, so we got Eggs. So Eggs is a friend of mine in the chat.
Okay.
And he's extremely, extremely bright. I mean, he's one of the brightest people I know. Of course, I'm talking to somebody with 2 doctorates right here. But Eggs is right that he says, my only drawback personally is competitive integrity that would potentially harmful for those who wish to complete in BGs in war. So Egg, what I am going to push back and say, now for that white glove service for the big spenders in the game, I am not talking about an increase to resources or availability of champions. I'm talking about VIP, MVP service for those top 10 or for those number. I mean, we're talking about maybe give me a new banner, give me a new profile banner to identify me, right? Or give me an opportunity to talk to Kabam developers in a live stream where there's like 100 of us asking questions and have direct connection with Kabam and just talk, right? I mean, there's a
things
lot of
outside of gameplay. Things outside of gameplay.
There's a lot of non-material stuff that can be offered that can show these people with status that Kabam appreciates you. So, we got Damn Epic on here. He would absolutely agree with us. Anyway.
Oh, there we are, Damn Epic Whale. Yeah, there we go.
What's up, Damn Epic? Yeah, so
we're talking about spending money. We know you spend money.
Yeah, Kurd, what I mean by top 10K is the top 10,000 spenders in the game. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think some kind of white glove service would be nice. Kind of recognize those people that do spend, quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Maybe offer a little bit. We have, the sigil that, you spend money on that. We get recognition for that. You get access to certain things with that. There are some lifestyle things in the game, like the express mode and the arena. But then there's, you get access to buying some rank up stuff as well with that. I think they do have some of that, but yeah, I agree with you. I think they should offer something outside of the game too.
So for you, Doctor, and for everybody in the chat, Damn Epic and I do plan on doing a separate stream with Truth to talk about a lot of this stuff. So I don't want to spoil everything, but Truth is going to be hosting me, Damn Epic, Kurd, and maybe a couple of the big whales out there to actually talk about this stuff in real time. All right, so let's move away from spending. We spent enough time on spending.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about game issues. All right.
Inputs. Let's talk about inputs because that's a big one, and I know everybody complains about that.
All right, so Doctor, the input issues, bugs, input issues, lag. How is that affecting your enjoyment of the game?
For me, I don't really notice it as much. I know people keep saying there. So did you really have an input issue, or is it because you don't know how to parry?
Right. Everybody watches Lefty streams. We all know what the deal is.
Yeah.
We all know Lefty can't parry.
Yeah. I watch Lefty he's on every day at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon here, and
clip it.
And I'm eating dinner and I watch Lefty while I'm eating dinner. So, and he's in the, I'm in the kind of DC metro area. He's in the DC metro area. So,
yep.
And he'll jokingly say, "Oh, yep, nope, that parry didn't work." But
right.
Did it really not work, or did you just not do it right?
It's the AI. It's the AI.
Yeah. I mean, it sometimes it is legitimate. There are glitches with the game. I mean, if you go on the Trilo board, you'll see them. They're there. I encourage everybody, if you don't know what the Trilo board is, Kabam has a Trilo board where they put all the glitches of the game on, and you can actually see which champions are, I wouldn't say not working, but parts of them are not working. And then, when they do their updates, they tell us what glitches they've fixed. And you can see where there are glitches in the game. There have been times where things have really been messed up. And they make mistakes a lot. I remember when they had our mailbox and they were supposed to announce an offer, and somebody accidentally posted an email that they were sending somebody else.
Yeah.
That's egregious. They can't do that. I think that tells me that kind of stuff, there's very little quality control.
Yeah.
Things not getting tested correctly. When the champ comes out and they're rebalancing, or later on they're taking something away, like the thing with Mole Man. Mole Man was out for how long before they decided to change him? Like 2 years?
Yeah.
And then they changed him, and then that really made a lot of people upset. And I get it. Sometimes they make mistakes, but they make those mistakes a lot, and sometimes they're very significant.
So how would you fix the majority of those mistakes?
I think they need to be a little bit more transparent. about doing what they're doing. They're very corporate. They're very corporate in their answers. They have to be. They're a business. They're a corporation. I understand that, but I think a little bit of transparency goes a long way. Sometimes some of the moderators, and I'm actually okay with the moderators I have now. Kabam Mike, or when it was Kabam Mike when he was there. Yep. I wasn't a big fan of his. He said some things about Hercules that really upset a lot of people and that was at like the height of Hercules, when Hercules was the champ everybody wanted, and they were talking about nerfing him or taking some things away, and you couldn't say that kind of thing without, incurring the ire of everybody in the fan base. Yeah. They really haven't done a lot of that yet, but they really haven't been forthcoming, especially with like the changes they made with energy and the changes that they made with the event quest recently. I think those were very poor choices. Very poor choices.
So I can tell you from my own personal experience, I did not know a thing about the energy change. They did not announce the energy change to us. They did not let us test out the EQ. We did not get access to EQ before it was dropped. We found out pretty much as soon as everybody else found out about top 30. So
and they can't do that. They just can't do that. I mean, they need to let people know a little bit in advance.
Yeah. They have a perfect opportunity, and somebody said it in the chat. I can't remember. I can't see who it was, but about using the CCP. The CCP, Content Creator Program, is to help create content for the game. It is not their separate bug detecting army. That is not our job.
And with that, I know that there were some folks that came out and talked about Spider-Woman, and that were in the Content Creator Program, that said when they tested Spider-Woman, she didn't have a 30% ability accuracy reduction in snare. She had 100%.
Yeah.
And they still went forward with her, and then they're taking the ensnare away, which is, for me, it's not that big a deal. I don't really use it on attack. It's very unreliable. But some people may use that, and I guess it made her a super defender with that, plus the fumble in her kit. So, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and we don't hear anything about the balanced stuff either beforehand. So we're caught off guard as everybody else is. Judah brings up a good point. They need to invest in personnel that have the expertise to rewrite ancient code that no one knows how to fix. I completely agree.
That's another thing too. The game is old, and it's based off of like very complex old code.
Yeah, and they keep piling on it for the past like 11 years. It's just not good. But
they can't take the game down long enough for the amount of time it would take to change all the code. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. And they just layer code on top of code and I'm not a computer guy, so I don't, I'm just kind of speaking off the top of my head about it. But I know you can't just do that kind of thing and expect a good result. You're going to change one thing, and then it might change 100 other things in the game because there's so much layered code that's there. And they really need to be careful what they do and how they touch the game then.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, so Spider-Woman. So the Spider-Woman change, and I'm saying this because Egg is bringing up a point. The Spider-Woman change, she probably needed to be looked at. I agree to that. But just like 90% of the other YouTubers have made content about the Spider-Woman change, is that if they needed to make a change, it should have been focused on the defensive nature of her, and not have impacted the utility that she had on offense. I think that's an unforced error. They probably should have looked at just impacting the defense and not pissing off.
Yeah, as a defender, just say, okay, she doesn't have an snare as a defender, and then leave it at that. They have there's a ton of champions in the game that have special abilities that turn on or off when they're a defender. So why didn't they just do that and leave the ensnare alone for her as an attacker? It is what it is. But there were a lot of people, it sounds to me like, were complaining about her as a defender.
Yeah.
And I don't think they change things like that unless they're really getting a lot of feedback from the fan base.
Yeah. Well, there's good news too in this as well. We were talking about this yesterday, and the good news is that this doesn't happen very often. We do not see
Right.
we don't see nerfs very often. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I saw a big nerf. So I'm glad that they use this power judiciously.
Might have been Shocker.
Yeah, it could have been Shocker. Yeah, but you know, at the same time, you're thinking there should have been champs that they had nerfed. They should have nerfed that they did not. Like,
yeah, and I don't think this was like a massive nerf either.
Bullseye. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I mean, it you know, the ensnare only worked 30% of the time. So I was watching, Vega had a good point about this, and I was watching his video about this. He was saying when it worked, it caught him off guard. And that, you know, when you're playing the game and you get caught off guard, you make a mistake and you get hit, and then you know, you take a bunch of damage. And then when he wanted it to happen, it didn't happen when he wanted it to happen. It was unreliable that way. So it's not something in her kit that I have really focused on. She's a Power Sting champ, so I do the rotation with her where I go Special 2, get all the Furies, and then go Special 1 and get all the massive Power Stings that do a ton of damage, and then you're done.
Yeah. All right. Where do you see the future of MCOC in the next few years? Do you see it still thriving, at risk, or dead?
I see it thriving. It feels like it has kind of gotten stagnant. But I don't think that their fan base and their player base has really eroded.
Yeah.
It's stayed within a range. They might be at the lower end of that range right now, but we get the same complaints, and we've had the same complaints for probably the last at least 5 years or more. You know, about, well, whales are getting everything. They're making everything towards the whales. The input issues are terrible. They do make dumb changes, and they have gone back. I mean, the energy thing happened, and then they immediately saw how everybody reacted to it, and they went back. So we're kind of where we are with energy. They know they have to, if they make major significant changes, that they have to kind of rectify those. I mean, we got that with the revive, when, you know, the revive farming went away.
Yeah, there
was some energy farming that was in there too, and everybody was doing it. They knew it, and they knew it was going to be very unpopular when they did it. We all knew that it was, you know, it was BS that we were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm going to mention this, and people are going to hate me for mentioning this, but if they ever touch Realm of Legends and take away those level 3 health potions, that will hurt the game. That will hurt the game massively. I'm sure you use that. I auto fight through Realm of Legends all the time to get those potions. It is the way that I have beat the hard material. You know, but I hope they never touch that.
Dude, I can't remember the last time I went into Realm of Legends. I can't.
Really?
I don't farm, dude. I don't potion farm at all.
Oh, I got people, you know, I'll go in and I'll have 400 or 500 level 3 potions, and people are like, how did you get all those? What did you do? I'm like, yeah, I just, you know, auto fought Realm of Legends a bunch of times. And I mean, I like the auto fight mechanic. I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
Hopefully they never take that away either. But I don't necessarily see the game eroding. They're trying to make changes that are going to be positive to expand the game. Some of the recent ones they've made in the last month or two, I don't think I don't think they're going in the right direction. I think they kind of need to go back. They need to relook at Event Quest. They need to, I think they need to go back to the monthly schedule for side quest. If they brought back, I think one thing everybody would love to see is if they brought back the Deadpool's Pirate Island, or some version of that. That would be fantastic. Everybody loved that.
I want to acknowledge. Hake, I'm going to ban you from the chat for sending that to Lefty. First of all, Judah makes a point that he actually supports Kabam's decision for Spider Woman. It won't hurt her from a tax standpoint. It will actually help her in some cases, but she was never meant to be a top defender and a snare mate or one.
Yeah, and they said that too. Yeah. They said that, they had that number scale, and they said she was supposed to be a 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, and she was like a 4.
Those numbers don't mean anything to me. They're all just freaking made up.
I was like, okay, whatever. That's just Kabam corporate speak.
Yeah, but in the chat, not this chat, but another chat that I'm in, a Kabam developer said that Spider Woman is going from the top science champion and becoming the top science champion. She's still in the top. She's going to be phenomenal. She's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Personally, I think Count Nefaria is the best science champ that there is.
Yeah. I think he's fantastic. I don't know if I would go that far, but I think he is fantastic.
I use him for everything. Yeah, all of these like regen champs and power gain champs. Anybody that's got that stuff on him, I'm going right to Nefaria, and he just melts them away.
No, we all have our favorites. Nefaria is great. He's not mine. All right, so I want to wrap this up because
we've been yammering for an hour.
If anybody has a question, and I do want to acknowledge Cantona too. I haven't said hi to him, but Doctor, I mentioned that I had done an interview earlier, and I lost all the voice because of my computer settings weren't right. It was with Cantona. So I owe Cantona another interview. I'm so sorry again, man, that happened, but we'll figure this out. Let's see. Antrasa says, read his last. Yusafa, the best question is, what would make spenders to stop spending and free-to-play players to stop playing? What would make spenders stop spending and free-to-play players to stop playing? I know I can tell Antrasis what it would take for me to stop spending. What would it take you, Doctor?
I mean, if we lost a lot of value in what we're spending money on, I think we need a new progression title. It's about time for a new progression title. They need to give us something to chase.
I don't think it's happening. I don't think we're going to get a new progression title. I think that was the change with the EQ, with the Prestige 30.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
I think you're right.
We're not getting another one. That's my guess. I think there's going to be.
I think the next big chase thing is going to be rank 5s, rank 5 7 stars.
Yeah. That's probably it. What would it? I would stop spending on this game if I truly believe that my voice is not valued. And
I think that too.
If I feel that Kabam is not listening to my voice in particular and the community's voice and taking input and using that in their OODA loop, you know what OODA loop is, Doctor?
I have never heard of that.
No, it's an Air Force thing. It's observe, orient, decide. Okay. Observe, orient, decide, and act for
acronym.
Yeah. So if they don't take that into their decision feedback loop, then I would stop playing.
And I think we've got a lot of ways that we can communicate with them, and they do pay attention. I mean, people complain, oh my God, the mods haven't been on the forums for 3 days and they haven't said anything, and everybody's gone, and then they come back on. They get in the forums a lot. They look at that. They respond to people a lot. I think they're not always the fastest, but they're always there. We can get on the Discord too and go through, the Discord. So we have many ways of talking with Kabam Mike and Kabam Dork and Kabam Crashed and all those guys. So I think you're right. If they stopped listening to us, which they shouldn't because they're a business and they want to make money, that I would also stop spending money too.
All right. So what advice would you give to someone that's thinking about starting their own YouTube channel in the MCOC space today? What is the one piece of advice as somebody that has a a 7,000 subscriber video channel, over 1 million views, that is a constant grinder on YouTube. What advice would you give somebody who's thinking about picking up the microphone today?
Go on YouTube and look at how to make YouTube videos. That's probably the best advice I give. That I learned, you dive down that rabbit hole on YouTube. There are so many videos on YouTube on how to make YouTube videos. Now, I will tell you, there is one YouTuber who has made one video about their setup, and that was Seaton. Seaton has a video buried way back.
Way back, yeah.
This must have been like 5-6 years ago.
Yep.
But he actually did a video on his setup, and I use a lot of the same stuff that he does. Like for let me ask you this: how do you project your phone or your device onto your computer to do your streams and videos?
Elgato.
Okay.
Elgato capture.
And I don't use a capture card.
Okay.
I use a program called Reflector.
Okay.
Which screen shares. So it's a screen mirror program, and it works great. I've used it for the 5 years I've been on YouTube, and it sometimes it's a little wonky, but it works pretty great. I've looked into trying to get a capture card and all that, but it's kind of, for people wanting to start a YouTube channel, it's kind of trying to figure out, how do I do those kinds of things?
Right.
Like I used a terrible microphone for a couple of years, and the microphone I have now is great. It's an expensive microphone, and the more expensive microphone you get, the better they are. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
But, I had to learn how to use, what a good microphone is, how to get a boom for a microphone, a green screen, how to make thumbnails, all that stuff. You just have to kind of dive down the rabbit hole. You can figure out how to do almost anything on YouTube by watching YouTube videos. So that's really where I would start.
Awesome, dude. Well, Doctor, I really do appreciate you spending your night with me, man. It's it was fantastic talking to you. I have never talked to you on the phone before, so this is absolutely fantastic. And
are we on the phone?
Or on the phone, right? Yeah.
We're old guys, so we think we're on the phone.
For people in the chat, if you are not subscribed to Dr. DrYuriusPapers channel, please go do so. Go watch his videos, like and subscribe. I really, really do appreciate it. I am going to be, so I do have a regular cadence of these Voices of the Community. I've already recorded 2 additionals. They'll be released tomorrow. One will be released on Saturday, and we'll continue on. If you are interested in being interviewed, Cantona, I'll get you, I swear to God, next week. But if you do want to be interviewed, please write me on Discord. Information will be provided in the comments section. Please, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much. And Doctor, this was fantastic. I was not expecting to do a live video interview with you. So thank you so much.
Made it happen.
All right, guys. Please like and subscribe to the video, and I will talk to you guys later.